We have to.
We have to get to. We don't want to forget it.
That's right. You asked me, what do I say when people ask me if I have 3 kids or 4 kids?
Well, or just even just your emotional experience now. You just had a baby a couple weeks ago. I'm thinking, hey, it's like,
Yeah.
How are you?
So Oliver is the name of my
fourth child.
We went to the hospital at 1 o'clock in the morning. They brought us to the room. You're not crying. They brought us to the room of where Grace was born. My daughter that died.
Oh,
same room.
Without, okay.
Yeah, no idea.
Okay. Is it odd or is it God? I always say.
I looked at Nicole right away as I walked in the room, like, you know which room this is? She goes, yeah, I know which room it is. And we held her there, and she was as small as Oliver was.
She was stillborn, right?
She was stillborn.
Okay.
At 38 weeks.
Okay.
38 weeks. And it was definitely when I was holding Oliver, the last couple of days, I'm like thinking about Grace a lot, like, cause she was that small, and it just, I don't know. And also, like, I was thinking a lot, like, we didn't know if it was going to be a girl or boy. So, like, you were thinking of, like, having another girl, like, just kind of thinking about Grace. And I don't know, you just think about it. You
didn't know if you're having a boy or a girl.
No.
Okay. What do you think about people knowing ahead of time?
I don't care. If you want to know, you want to know. If you don't, you don't. Like, I like the surprise.
Like the surprise, yeah. Okay.
So, and if people ask me, like,
I always find it interesting, right? Because for us, it's like we were somewhere yesterday morning. Maria and I can't even remember where, but it was like somebody said, "Oh, we were just talking. Oh, it was at church actually. 6 kids, right? One wonderful new couple. Maria was just helping them get checked into kids' church, and the lady's like, "Oh, wow, man, you've carried 6 kids, right?" And then we just kind of use that opportunity rather than like tell them way later and make it awkward. We always just correct people and say, "Actually, our kids are all adopted, and one of them's not ours. Our 6 months not our kid." And it's just fascinating how, you just miss this whole experience of, not, especially for Marie. I mean, way less for me, but just the idea of like not carrying babies, not having your genetic, quote unquote, genetic makeup. I mean, I always find it interesting looking at our kids because I never look at our kids and be like,
"Did you know that you're adopted?"
You're not like our kid. Yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, man. Have you met my parents? Actually, this is funny. My dad, right? No, I know what you mean. I know where you're going with this. I was just, like, my parents listen to the podcast, right? So I just got to throw the odd shot at them, right?
But I mean, like, that with the genetic makeup, like, it's a beautiful thing to think about. Like, we're adopted by God, and
yeah. And our kids are they're processing, and we talk about it all the time. And we let them talk about it, and it's really fascinating having some of our children have full relationships, like open adoptions, right? Where they have relationships with their birth parents. One of our kids, other kids, their birth parents aren't doing well. Some of them, like one of them, their birth mom has passed away, and we know that. And then another one, we don't even know who her birth dad is, right? And so it's just this like, the myriad of emotions. And we always tell them, like, we have those questions that we ask after dinner, right? That I've talked about, those 200 heavy questions. And the other day, one of them was related to that. Like, hey, what do you think about that'll bother you in the future? And it's like, hey, you can talk about, you just process it in our family. I mean, I pray that our family would be a safe place where you can ask the hard questions and struggle with stuff.
I'm reading a book right now called Finding My Father.
Okay.
How to Deal with Fatherlessness by Blair Lane. Amazing book. But she didn't grow up with a very absent dad. She was on the other side of the country, I think, and then she talked to him like once or twice a year. And then when she was like 35 or something like that, she found out that who she thought was her dad was not her actual dad, because she did like a test or whatever. And she found out it was another guy. And but she just talks about like the importance of dad and the impact of dads and how to like recover from it. But there's just like, even if you're having like an absent dad that was physically around, but that wasn't there for you, like it's a really, really good book. Highly recommend it. Finding My Father, Blair Lane.
Blair Lane. Okay. Total rabbit trail, but just made me think of something else. A plug for another podcast if people are listening to this is The Overcomers. Matt Chandler does a podcast, and I listened to one recently about a lady that struggled with same-sex attraction. Just a great podcast in general. Lots of great episodes. So, and Matt Chandler was recently on Matt Shantz's podcast, on the Deep Thoughts podcast. Okay. That's a great podcast as well, especially for those of us that have listened to Matt Chandler's preaching over the years. But anyways.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.